The Islamic Council of Victoria is the peak Muslim body here in the state of Victoria, representing around 50 member societies, which are traditionally mosques or Islamic centres. The Victorian Muslim population is about 200,000, and we act as a platform for advocacy, and two is a social services provider. One unique aspect of Victorian Muslims is that no one particular ethnic group or particular ideological group dominates. So there's a very good even spread. The challenges I think these days, because of the whole issue of global terrorism, is one of the Muslim community feeling a bit under siege, with a lot of attention on countering violent extremism, radicalisation, terrorism, etc., and feeling a bit unloved, feeling a bit like the other. So this is very counterproductive for social cohesion in the country. The ICV is trying to act as a conduit or the bridge between the wider society and the local Muslim community in trying to foster social harmony. We try to act as a broker, so people better understand the Muslim community and the Muslim community feels a sense of belonging in this society. It would be fair to say that 9/11 was a game changer. For a lot of Muslims, there's this epoch where it's pre-9/11 or post-9/11. I grew up in the 70s. It didn't matter pre-9/11 whether you're a Muslim or not. Okay, you're just like anybody else. Post-9/11, your Muslim identity mattered to a lot of people. We live in an era where there's been a lot of negative attention towards the Muslim world, towards Islam, and that has unfortunately played on the psyche of a lot of Muslims in Victoria, in Australia, and in the Western world. Radicalisation, I think, personally, is quite an exaggerated issue. I think it's unhealthy for society to constantly refer to radicalisation or radicalised Muslim youth. With all the pressure placed on Muslim youth, for some, we're talking about an extreme minority, it could actually act as a self-fulfilling prophecy. If people are idle, they don't have a sense of purpose in life. The easiest way to make some sense out of life is to be a radical. All the great leaders in the 20th century were radicals. Look at Nelson Mandela, he was a radical. So it all depends, people's definition and perceptions of what a radical is. The unique aspect of the Muslim community in Australia is that 67%, 2/3 of the Muslims are under the age of 35. So they're young. The majority of the Muslims are young. And because of the migrant experience, especially in the last 40 years, there is a divide between first generation, second generation, and third generation, all within a 40-year period. Naturally, because of the experience of migrating, language, career, lifestyle, there is a natural divide, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just social evolution. The irony today is that the Muslim young ladies are incredibly successful in school and in careers than their male counterparts. If you were to analyse the younger population, you will see more younger ladies achieving higher grades, achieving courses of their first preference, achieving good careers with high-paying jobs than the male young. This is a good thing. Muslim families have shown a greater tendency to have their daughters educated. So there was what you may call positive discrimination by giving far more attention to their daughters. Now there's a bit of a need to skew it the other way, where the young man needs a bit more support and attention, so there could be an equilibrium. I choose to be optimistic about the future of multiculturalism and social harmony. I think it's been very successful in Australia, in particular in Victoria. And I think the rest of the world, in particular Europe, can learn a lot about how we help integrate and settle migrants under a policy of multiculturalism. Australia is an incredibly diverse collection of minorities, and everybody has a contribution. I see multiculturalism like a salad, where you got your tomatoes, you got your salads, you got your lettuce, onions, olives, and everybody contributes something. So our salad will keep evolving. There'll be different dressings. I think it'll only get better.